بالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا نوح عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا هود عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إبراهيم عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا صالح عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يونس عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا أيوب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يعقوب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يوسف عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا موسى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا هارون عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا شعيب عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إسماعيل عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا داود عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا سليمان عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا زكريا عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا يحيى عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا أرميا عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا شعياء عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا إلياس عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا اليسع عليه السلام، وبالأسماء التي دعاك بها سيدنا ذو الكفل عليه السلام، وبالأسماء
Pirimiz Bilallah Habeşi radıyallahu anh Efendimizin, Şeyhimiz SahibulSaif Şeyh Abdulkerim Hazretlerinin ve alelhusus bu caminin banisi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş İmam müezzin kayyumlarının ve kahve ehli ivanın ervahı için Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketahu yusallûne alen nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne amenû sallu aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammed ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed.
Sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber.
Allahu Ekber.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber.
Allahu Ekber.
Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah.
Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah.
Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah.
Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah.
Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah.
Sallallahu.
Hayya ale's-salah. Hayya ale's-salah. Hayya alel-felah. Hayya alel-felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
La ilahe illallah. Seyyidina Muhammed Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Elhamdülillah, elhamdülillah, elhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmadullah Teala ve nestağfiru, eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh. Eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluh. Sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve sahabi tabi hulefir raşidin mahadin min ba'di. Zemiyat ala tahkik. Hususan min alameti hulefe rasul ala tahkik. Umar el-Mu'minin. Hazreti Ebu Bakır, Umar, Osman ve Ali ve ala bakır sahabe tabi'in ridvanullah teala aleyhim ecmain. Ya eyyuhel mu'minul hazirun. يتقوا الله تعالى إن الله حمى الذين تقوا الذين هم محسنون الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. He Jalla wa Ala says in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, had we sent down this Quran upon a mountain, truly you would have seen it humble itself and split apart from fear of Allah. These are examples we present to mankind so that they might make tafakkur. He is Allah, and there is no ilah other than Him, knower of the invisible and the visible. He is the most gracious, the most merciful. He is Allah. There is no ilah other than Him, the King, the Holy One, the source of peace, the keeper of faith, the guardian, the majestic, the compeller, the superb. Glory to Allah. High is He above the partners they attribute to Him. He is Allah, the creator, the inventor, the bestower of forms. To Him belong the most beautiful names. Whatever is in the heavens and the earth is praising Him. And He is the mighty, the wise. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. And may all peace and blessings be upon the noble messenger, Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, who said in a hadith recorded by Imam al-Jazuli in Dalil al-Hayrat, there is no servant who makes salawats on me except that the salawat leaves his mouth and it passes every land and sea and the east and the west and says to them, I am the salawat of such and such a person, which he made for Muhammad, the chosen one, alayhi salatu wasalam, the best of Allah's creation, and everything blesses him. From that prayer, a bird is created for him, which has 70,000 wings. And in every wing there are 70,000 feathers. And in every feather there are 70,000 faces. And in every face there are 70,000 mouths. In every mouth there are 70,000 tongues. And every tongue praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in 70,000 languages. And Allah writes for the person the reward of all of that. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi Sayyidina Muhammad. May peace and blessings also be upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the Khulafa Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar al-Faruq, Hazrat Osman al-Ghani, and Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. May peace and blessings be upon the guardians of the Shariat, the protectors of justice, the lovers of the Sunnah, the Ottoman Padishahs, and all those who stand for their honor until the last day. The Sultan is the shadow of Allah on earth. Whoever honors the Sultan, Allah honors him. And whoever hates the Sultan, Allah hates him. Sadaqallahu Rasulullah. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers. Today is the day of Jummah, the first Jummah of Jamada al-Ahir, leading us into the blessed days of Rajab, Shaban, and Ramadan. May we prepare ourselves to welcome these holy months with the honor that they deserve. O believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed us to be honored. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي Adam. We have honored the children of Adam. But when mankind insists on dishonoring himself, when mankind insists on taking the clean and pure state that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us in and contaminates it with dirtiness and with filth, with that dirtiness, mankind cannot go back home. Mankind cannot enter paradise. And dirtiness is not accepted in the presence of the Lord. As our master, SahibulSaif, Shaykh Abdulkerim Kibrisi Rabbani Karazasir is saying, paradise is for the people who are clean. It's not for the people who are dirty, no. And anybody who claims, I am clean, must be following the orders of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That kind of cleanness Allah is asking from us. Not to say, I'm washing every day, I'm taking a shower every day, new clothes every day, I'm putting nice perfumes. But the smell that is coming from your ego, from your nafs, if Allah opens it to the world and the people smell it, they will fall down and die. So that is important. You must get rid of that smell. You must get rid of the inside dirtiness. That's why Islam came, to get rid of the characteristics of the ego. And the friends of Allah, they speak the truth. Holy Prophet ﷺ came to teach Bani Adam to return to the original state of honor. Just as he came to break the physical idols around the Kaaba, he came to clean the throne of Allah inside mankind, the hearts, and to purify them from the dirtiness that have taken over there. And his inheritors, the friends of Allah, continue that work. We are in the time of the Urs of one of those great friends of Allah, Mawlana Jalaluddin Rumi, Qaddasallahu Sir. He came to clean hearts and to bring the hearts back to the original state of being Allah's throne. He came at a time when there was nothing but believers around him, when there was nothing but Khilafat, when there was nothing but Ibadat. But still he came at that time to those clean ones physically to bring their hearts back to the original state of being Allah's throne. And his mission was nothing other than the mission of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. This is why he said, I am the servant of the Quran. I am the dust on the path of Rasulullah ﷺ. Whoever says anything than this about me, I am separate from him and from his words. And Hazrati Mawlana, like his Sultan, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, came to break mankind of their bad characteristics and of the slavery of the ego. Hazrati Mawlana is speaking about the danger of the nafs, saying, a person said, I thought that if I put the chain of tawbah around the neck of the dog of the nafs, if I make him old that way, maybe I could end his rebellion. But whenever he sees a rotting corpse, he breaks the chain and runs for it. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this dog of the nafs. I do not know what I should do to this dog of the nafs. And Hazrati Mawlana is further explaining the struggle inside mankind between his good nature and his evil nature, saying, the human is like a jungle where wild animals, they roam. We have to be very careful and on guard not to get ripped into pieces. Inside us there are thousands of wolves, thousands of pigs. There is clean, there is dirty, there is beauty, there is ugliness, thousands of characteristics. If one of these characteristics is heavier, we are under its influence. Sometimes the wolf inside you takes control of you. Then you look like a wolf. Sometimes you may become as beautiful as Hazrat Yusuf, with a face as beautiful as the moon. Goodness, evil, hate, grudges keep on flowing from heart to heart through secret channels. Every moment there is a different thing that emerges in the heart. The human sometimes turns into a shaitan, sometimes into an angel, sometimes into a trap, and sometimes into a beast. This is the essence of Hazrati Mawlana's teachings. So what happens when man lets his beast nature take over and acts like an animal? What happens when Bani Adam become like donkeys? Sultan al-Awliya, Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim al-Hakkani, Qaddasallahu Sir, is saying, Shaitan said, I will make mankind my donkeys. I am not leaving one of them to be free, but I will ride on him. And the seal of prophets ﷺ advised, O my ummah, all nations are going to be either a rider or a ride. O my nation, don't be rides, but try to be the riders. Don't be donkeys, be lions. Can anyone ride a lion? But 21st century people are happy to be Shaitan's donkeys. Why are you not trying to be lions that will never allow someone to ride them? Everyone fears lions. That is the honor of mankind. But Shaitan did his worst for 21st century people and made the majority its donkeys. You now may find only a handful of people who are created like lions. No one can approach to ride them. O people, now awliya are saying, why are you not going to be lions? Why are you going to be donkeys? Donkeys never give you honor, but to be a lion gives you honor. That is his last summary for people from heavens. O people, don't be donkeys, be lions, and you will reach the highest level of heavens. Otherwise, if you are not lions, Shaitan will ride on you, and you will go wherever it takes you. May Allah forgive us. How do we break out of being donkeys? Hazrat Mawlana Rumi is saying, laziness, greed, and selfishness have caused you to behave stubbornly and put your ego in charge. You are like the donkey that runs from its burden. Its master calls it back saying, watch out, you stupid creature. If you disappear from my sight, wolves will come at you from every direction and eat you. Don't run from me. And the burden you have to carry, I am your spirit. You are a donkey because you are controlled by your ego. O selfish creature, don't you know that the dominant quality determines the nature of a thing? It is the dominant, the strongest quality that determines the nature of a thing. Allah intended for you to behave like a horse and not a donkey, because the horse responds when the master says, come. Al-Mustafa ﷺ was put in charge of the stable yard of your animal nature. Without taking a master, this ego is not going to be trained. And when the egos become loose, when the egos of the whole world become donkeys, then man loses his honor. The man who follows his ego non-stop and does not submit to a master is drunk and he's poisoned. And he is poisonous, and he will destroy everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created with love. Mevlana says, how happy is the one who keeps his ego down. Oh, the attitude of the one who puts himself up is as high as a mountain. Remember, arrogance, praising yourself, and self-righteousness are deadly poisons. Fools become drunk on this poisonous wine. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has warned us and given us example through those who drank this poisonous wine and whose ending was disaster. The Holy Quran is a history book full of the examples of the whole of mankind from the beginning to the last, of those who became the donkeys of Shaitan and who were punished for their arrogance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us that history so that we might learn and we might act differently. And one of the greatest examples of ego drunkenness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives in the Holy Quran is Nimrud. He is so low that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not even mention his name in the Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us the heights of Nimrud's arrogance, saying in Surah Al-Baqarah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, haven't you looked at the one who argued with Ibrahim about his Lord just because Allah had given him power? Ibrahim said, my Lord is he who gives life and death. He said, I give life and death. Ibrahim replied, but it is Allah who causes the sun to rise from the east. So now you make it rise from the west. So the disbeliever was stunned. And Allah does not guide the zalimin. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Our Shaykh SahibulSaif is telling us how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with the arrogance and pride of Namrud, the tyrant. He is saying, when Ibrahim alayhi salam came to Namrud saying, I'm asking you to turn your way to the Lord of the heavens and the earth. He says, is there any other Lord than me? I am the one. He said to him, you don't have anything. Why you are claiming to be the Lord? He said, I have everything. I'm the Lord of the earth. If your Lord is the Lord of the skies, then I'm the Lord of the earth. So I'm challenging him. Tell him to send the armies. Namrud. Today's 21st century people have the same attitude. Same attitude. Not different than that one. That one at least had a little bit of power in his hand, worldly power. But today's people, they have nothing. Zero. But still acting and trying to live like those Namruds. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us examples about them. What happened to them, saying, take lesson. The Quran al-Karim is not just saying words and walk away. It is a lesson to us. Either you take lesson or you are going to become a lesson. No other way. So Namrud declared lordship and was saying, I'm asking to fight with that one. And Allah is saying to him, say to him, I am sending my soldiers to him. Prepare. And he was preparing and waiting, saying, where is it? Looking around. Ibrahim alayhi salam was saying, don't worry, it's coming. Look at the sky. And all of a sudden, this darkness appeared in the sky. What is that? Mosquitoes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to him, you are worse than a mosquito. Allah is teaching a lesson saying, you are less than a mosquito. You are declaring lordship to me. I don't need to bring armies to you. Sending you little mosquitoes. And those mosquitoes finished Namrud and all of his army. And one broken-legged mosquito crawled into Namrud's nose and ate his brain. 21st century people became tyrants. 21st century people became donkeys. 21st century people are declaring themselves lords of the earth and denying the existence of Allah. They're eating the rights of the poor ones. They're eating the rights of those who have less. They're taking the rights of the earth and the skies. With their greediness, they're swallowing everything and destroying everything. So Allah now is terrifying mankind with something smaller than a mosquito. A virus. 120 nanometer virus. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is causing countries to shut down because of this virus, to remind mankind of their weakness, to warn mankind, slow down, think. This microscopic thing, it is shutting down the biggest countries, the airport, the economy, transportation. Armies cannot destroy it. Showing to mankind, don't declare lordship. You cannot even protect yourself from this tiny, tiny creature. Man is weak. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allah wants to turn to you in mercy. But those who follow their passions want you to turn away from Him, far, far away. Allah wants to lighten your difficulties for you. For man was created weak. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. We have to understand our weakness before Allah. If we think we are strong, we become a tyrant. We have to understand that we need help against the wild animals that are inside of us. We need to understand that we have done wrong. When we do that, Allah wants to turn to us. And Allah wants to make things easier for us. And that ease comes from sending the unbreakable rope, from sending those who are connected to the unbroken chain of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. That help comes from the Wali and Murshida, from the one who is going to rescue you from becoming a zalim and bring you back to the safety of servanthood. Who is the greatest? Abdullah, the greatest servant of Allah, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. Listen and remember and think about the dua that he ﷺ made in Taif when he was driven out of the city by the children and the slaves, his feet bleeding. He raised his hands to Allah and he said, "O Allah, I complain to you of my weakness and of my lack of support and of my humiliation I have been made to receive. Ya Arhamar Rahimin, you are the Lord of the weak and you are my Lord. To whom do you leave me? To a distant person who receives me with hostility? Or to an enemy you have given power over me? As long as you are not displeased with me, I do not care what I face. I would be happier with your mercy. I seek refuge in the light of your face, by which all darkness is dispelled, and both this life and the life to come are put in the right course, against pulling your anger or being the subject of your anger. To you I submit until I learn, until I earn your pleasure. Everything is powerless without your support." How beautiful are those words of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. And what came after this dua? The Miraj, Medina and Mecca, the opening of the flag of Islam. If we make the dua with the same heart, we will find our honor again. Our honor as Bani Adam lies in being Allah's servants. Our honor lies in being servants of the Quran, being the dust under the feet of the Messenger. Our honor lies in following those who lead us to the path of the Prophet. In these darkest days, in darkest times of Ahir Zaman, we're making dua to Allah and complaining of our weakness. We're asking for Him to send us strength to be His servants and to do the work of His Prophet. We're asking to be connected to and to submit to and obey their friends. We're asking for an end to tyranny and cruelty. We're asking for safety from curse and diseases. We're asking for a return of justice. We're asking for a return of the sultans. We're asking for the Sahibul Zaman. Amin. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah lazim alazi la ilaha illa wa al-Ahir qayyum wa atubu ilayh. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك كنت من الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك كنت من الظالمين صبح قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة والروح صبح قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة صبح قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة إن دين عند الله الإسلام قام الصلاة
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله
بسم الله الرحمن
حي على السلام حي على السلام حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قام الصلاة قد قام الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
سيدنا مولانا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Fill up the front rows, straighten your lines, tighten your lines shoulder to shoulder.
Zülcelali ve kemal ismanike ya azim. Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
Ala nimetil İslam ve şerefli iman. Damen elhamdülillah. La şanu ve la ilahe illallah ve ekber.
Allahu Ekber.
Allahu ekber kebira velhamdülillahi kesira ve subhanallah temasila. La ilahe illallah vallahu akbar la şerike la lehul mulku ve lehul hamdu ve huve ala kulli şeyin kadir. Subhane rabbiyel aliyil vehhab.
Amin. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. El Fatiha.
Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Âminel Resulü bimâ unzile ileyhi min Rabbi vel mu'minûn. Kullun âmene billahi ve melâiketihi ve kütübihi ve rusulihi. La nufarriqu beyne ahadin min rusuli ve gâlû sem'nâ ve ata'nâ subhaneke rabbena ve ileykel masîr. La yükellifullahu nefsen illa vus'aha leha ma kesebet ve aleyha ma iktesebet. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين آمنا بالله صدق الله العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس الله أكبر
La ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah, la ilahe illallah.
La ilahe illallah seyyidina Mevlana Muhammed Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sellem. Allahümme salli ala Muhammedin ve ala ali Muhammedin ve sellem. Allahümme سيدنا محمد الصلوات على أفضل العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات على أكبر العالمين سيدنا محمد الصلوات صلوات الله تعالى وملائكته وأنبيائه ورسوله وجميع أنبياء محمد وعلى آل محمد عليه السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته رضي الله تبارك وتعالى سادنا أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين وعن تاب ميسان مجتهدنا الماثل وعن معرفة أكمال الأنبياء الصالحين وإلى مشايخنا بزرقة العشبانية العليا قدس الله تعالى أرواح زكية من أمر الله تعالى تبارك ورى الله تعالى ببركاتهم وبدعاتهم دائما والحمد لله رب العالمين.
الفاتحة. فاتحة.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد.
آمين. إلى شرفنا المصطفى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. الفاتحة.
Biz Osmanlıyız. Biz Osmanlıyız. Pek şanlıyız. Pek şanlıyız. Tekbir. Allahu Ekber. Tekbir. Allahu Ekber. Tekbir. Allahu Ekber.
وَلِلَّهِ الْحَمْدُ. Selamun Aleyküm. Cuma mübarek. Alhamdulillah. May Allah accept our worship, inshallah. May He accept our intentions. May Allah forgive us. May Allah make us to wake up and to prepare for the holy months that are going to come. The holy months that are going to come, big punishment is going to be sending to mankind. We should wake up. We should take lesson. May Allah protect us, inshallah. Protect the believers and the good ones. May Allah wake up the rest of the ummah to return back to Him. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum. Sit. tombs of prophets and saints and to visit dergahs, it is an extension of your life here. It is not something completely different. It is an extension. It is something that is more concentrated, but it is connected in every way with your life here, the dergah. So when you come back to this country, you don't come back to this country, you come back to the dergah. If you are not connected to the dergah, and let's say you have a 9-to-5 job somewhere, and once in a while you escape for zikr and for sohbat, put on the turban once in a while, most of the time you just lost what the dunya is taking you. So many people are held hostage like that, some against their will, depending on their intention, where they want to be. If you are like that, then it becomes very difficult, because you have to readjust. So many things you have to readjust. Then you have to decide which one is the real life, over there or over here. Even if it is a real life, which one do you want to make it real? The life here, in this American system, that you can live, walk around, go to school, go to work 7 days, 7 years, and no one is mentioning Allah once, or the Prophet, or the awliya Allah. Correct or no? You cannot even hear azan anywhere. Correct? Now you're going to decide, kids, sohbat is going on, just keep it quiet a little bit, okay? If you have to decide which one do you want to make it to be real. Real is not just what you see and taste. That is, even what you see and what you taste, the 5 senses, is not real. It's not real. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to end. You say, no, I taste. Well, when you're tasting as a 6-year-old, it's different. When you're 26-year-old, your taste is different. When you're 60 years old, it's different. 600 years old, you don't even have any taste. So how can you say the 5 senses, it is real? Now, coming back to a country that is just pushing for these 5 senses, now you understand what is real or not according to your beliefs. What do you believe in? Now the ziyarat, is it making your belief to become stronger or not? If it is making to become stronger, now you say, because you're living here in the dergah, people work outside, yes, but you're not enjoying the life outside. We're running here in the dergah. That's why every one of us, we've gone through college, every one of us, we've worked outside, we've tasted the life America has to offer. And we say it is empty because we want to become believers. And we're coming here, we may not have too many things, but Allah is providing everything for us too. And we find a taste. Now, we talked about this, not taste, we talk about this huge ni'mat that Allah has given to the Muslims, especially to the Ottomans. To the Muslims for over 1,000 years, to the Ottomans for 500-600 years. And we've never tasted that. We've heard about it. We've imagined it. We've talked about it. But now to actually walk on those lands in these worst of times, there's still the traces of that is still making us to become, let's say, overwhelmed by that and saying that Allah, Allah. Such a thing exists. And this is the worst of the times. Imagine when it wasn't. So your faith is important. If people are just going to say it's just a vacation and then coming back, and then going back to the real life, that is not the real life. Then you lose everything. But because we are here in the dergah, what is the real life here? We are not enjoying the life. We escape that life. We just want a simple life. Then you make a ziyarat to not only a Muslim country, there are so many Muslim countries. But maybe Turkey is the only country in the world that is still honoring and loving and holding high the Awliya Allah. It's the only country. All other country, to believe in Awliya Allah, Tasawwuf or saints, it is like a dirty secret. That majority of the people, they look down on, they say, you're Ahli Shirk, you're this, you're that. At the very least, they say, you are misguided people. But this is something that is the backbone of the empire. And it is still there. In the worst of times, it is still there. What is it? What do you need to do? You need to remember. Everything is about remembrance. Everything is about zikr. Okay, all the kids go inside that small masjid now. Bring all your cookies. Go, quick. Ahmad, lead them. They'll be more comfortable inside there eating. Let the adults to listen to some sohbat. So, imagine now what it might have been. It's very different then. How mankind has been created in what? Yes, but also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in heedlessness, in forgetfulness. That's why zikr, it is very important. Everything that you do in ibadat, it is a zikr. It is a form of zikr. To say a shahadat, to read the Quran, to fast, to go to the Hajj, you must do it remembering Allah. You make namaz. You must remember Allah when you're making namaz. This is when tasawwuf, tariqat is going to teach you, look, listen, your ego inside is not going to make you to, you have the form of the namaz. You have the form of the sadaqah. You have the form of the fasting. You have the form of going to the Hajj. But your heart is not remembering Allah. If the outside form is doing everything, but the inside is not remembering Allah, is not much value. Allah is not looking at the outside form, He's looking to our hearts. That is where His throne is. So we must remember. You cannot just let it go. One good thing is you don't have to go back to that life. You are here. It is easier now to remember. So you must sit and you must recount and you must remember and you must taste it again and you must try to understand and you must meditate and you must think. You understand? Take time to understand, I went here. Alhamdulillah, that feeling there. Take time. Pull back more to yourself because now what are you making? What are you doing there now? You're being with the friends of Allah. I mean, when you remember Turkey, you're not going to remember the Iskandar kebab that you eat. You're not going to remember the çiğ köfte that they make for you. You're remembering the feeling that you are having when you're visiting the friends of Allah and the sultans. When you're meeting people who have such love for our Shaykh. When you're meeting people that they're good people, simple people, and they like to be around us just to remember Allah. So you must relive that. You must count. Allah is making zikr to be obligation. Allah is saying, you remember me and I will remember you. So if you're not making zikr, if you're not trying to remember and relive and taste everything, it's just going to be gone. This is the time when you have to make that struggle, that jihad of your nafs, because the nafs says, oh, okay, that is just past, it's just a trip. Now is it realized? It's not. You understand? So you must hold on to it. You must remember. You must be around those who are always going to bring it up, who are always going to talk about it, at least for you, to make that tafakkur. It is important. Why do you think I get upset when I come back and everyone is looking at me like this and not asking, not wanting to know, not wanting to discover? I want to discover. I want to discover. I want to take it out and look, and I want to show you. But when people are not interested, then I say, okay, what can I do? I'm past getting upset anyway. I say, I'll keep it. And I'll give it to other people in Turkey who want me to share. Correct or no? You've seen how they are. Is this shocking to people? No. I've said this so many times. The Shaykh Efendi has said that for so many years. He says, you don't want sohbat? I'm going to go to the cemetery. I'm going to give sohbat. So I'll take. You're not interested? It's okay. I cannot waste it also. Then I'll show it to people who are interested. And do I think that I have something to offer? No. Who am I to offer them anything? Do I think my Shaykh has something to offer? Yes. Then I'm only going to give what my Shaykh has given me. They like it, they take. They don't have to like it. They don't even have to like me. I don't even speak the language. You understand how impossible it is? But they're listening, and more, so there must be something. So there is. And for those who are thirsty, they're very happy when we give them water. And they want more, and they want more. So we should always be thirsty, inshallah. We should always. If you're not thirsty, make yourself to be thirsty. As the Prophet ﷺ is saying, cry for the sake of Allah. If you cannot cry, make yourself to cry. Otherwise, soon that door is going to be closed too. There's no sohbet. Then that time you're going to feel that over here is just robotic. So remember, pull it out, understand it, have the feeling. Call out the names of these awliya that we went. I was just remembering Hazrat Yahya Efendi. How nice it was. They're pulling us. We go. We didn't come with any real plan or this and that. So many times our plans change, and it just happened to be. And we're not going there to prove ourselves or anything. So then think about the ni'mat, the favor that Allah has given us through these ones. Then think about the favor that our Shaykh has given us. Then that time when you look at all the problems that you have every day, which they are problems, they are real problems, maybe. And then remember that and you say, come on now. Cannot be real. You understand? That's when you start slowly dying from this world. Maybe you've killed your passion for so many things that you had a passion for before. Correct? You used to get interested in like cars or this or that. Maybe you've killed that. It's just dying. It's on its way out. But our passion for worrying, not the good stuff in life, but the bad stuff in life. Our passion for anxiety, our passion for heedlessness, our passion for complaining, our passion for not being grateful, all those things we're still holding on very tightly. Now, you understand how sitting in the presence of that friend of Allah, then everything just goes. Then you realize it's not that. It is some problem, but it's not this huge thing. It's this thing here. It's this thing. You don't have a passion for all those kinds of things that especially the West is teaching us. Because they have all the material, but they're the most miserable. We are the most miserable. We have everything that the material, that people over there, they are struggling every day. So hard they're struggling. We have so easy coming to us, but there's no happiness. There is no satisfaction. There's no taste. Because there's no mention of our Lord anywhere. Isn't it? At least we're saying, okay, we live in a non-Muslim country. At least to have a show of their way of worshipping. You understand? Maybe we see one church. Okay, it's wrong. But at least it is a form of worship. It's going to remind you. But when you don't see that at all, there is no connection to any understanding of a creator. That really makes the heart to become very dark and very dead. And that time, You're running for this, running for that. Nothing is going to give you any satisfaction. If anything, it makes you want to kill yourself. And everything is saying, destroy, destroy, destroy. You have to take lesson. So it is good. Yeah, at least I got one good question after 3 days. Another few. There's a real question, correct? So we need to sit down, need to talk. Oh, remember when we went to Ayub Sultan? Remember when we went to Al-Fatih Hospital? What did we see? What was that? We didn't do any of that there. There was no time. Okay, we have time now. We have sohbats 3-4 times a week. I mean, you're supposed to have it 3 times a day anyway, but let's say we have 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Those who are going, why are you not speaking? And those who didn't go, why are you not asking? This is one thing that this system here makes your heart to become dead, except when it is fun and entertaining, except when it's about your ego, then you become very alive. Your eyes light up and you start talking. Everyone's so excited. When it comes to things like this, I'm talking about mu'mins, I'm talking about murids, I'm not talking about people from outside. Us. And then, we become dervish, mashallah. No passion, dervish. When it comes to dunya, everybody, the men's and women's. This is a drunken station that you need to snap out of. You understand? This is, what are you becoming alive for? You see those ones over there? They become alive for these things because there's nothing much going on that they're just getting by, paying their bills and getting by. Nothing gives them joy. You see, even in that, there is Allah's protection and blessing on them. May Allah make it easy for them, inshallah. May we wake up. Al-Fatiha. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, any other questions? Yes? You're losing weight, mashallah. No, it's through your hard work. Yeah, it's good. Be healthy a little bit. To have a big stomach like this, Prophet ﷺ is not liking it. Okay? Change, inshallah. May it be easy, inshallah. It's okay. Yes?
So I was watching a lot of pictures that people traveling, and then on the picture that really struck me that you were walking and then this person was sweeping, and then you just like standing like this. I think some brother took that picture. So I was wondering, that type of manners, people over there, they just have it in their blood, or they just grow up like that, or it's like they're learning from something. It's without even knowing it this first time. In their blood.
That's why they're very special people. We're not saying everyone, we're not saying majority. It doesn't matter. I don't want to argue about all these kinds of things. Of course they're like people, they're liberal. I'm talking about where we went to. Yes. Correct? Okay. This kind of manners also you cannot really find in so many Muslim countries. You cannot. I came from a Muslim country myself. I was surrounded by Muslim countries when I was growing up. Can't really. Why is that? What is it that the manners that they have? Are they born with it? Everyone is born with something, but it is also the surroundings that makes it to be. Okay? And they have both. They're born with it because they have a tradition of hundreds of years, 1,000 years. They're born with that, and they're surrounded by that too. Like over there, certain places that we went to, you have to go out of your way to really run after your ego. You have to go out of your way. Over here, we cannot take 2 steps without seeing things that is disobedient to Allah, that is pulling your nafs, your shawat, and your desires and this, correct? Over there, it's not because the whole system is a little bit different. It's trying to be like here, of course, but it's going to take some time also. And there is also the protection that I was thinking about this today. One of the things that they talk about, the Turkish nation, which, by the way, the Turkish nation, you cannot really even pinpoint what is Turkish. Because when you look in the streets of, in Turkey, in Istanbul, in anywhere, you see people who look completely Chinese, they're Turkish, people completely European, they're Turkish, completely dark, this, and everyone is. So that is what is called Osmanlı. And of course, everyone speaks the language, and everyone is, okay, that's fine. But I'm saying that there are also different types of people, but they have something that is in common. Okay? So I'm not saying there's also to just say, oh, they are the best, they're more superior. No, I'm taking lesson from it. You understand? We're taking lesson from it. So I was thinking today, because one of the things that they talk about, the Turkish people, they say they don't read too much. They say they're not a nation of readers. They don't read. And I'm thinking, read what? What? The news that is filled with confusion? Which they do, if anything. They are reading and they're keeping that politics and everything, they're very concerned. So read what? Magazines, like fashion magazines? What? Stories, novels, fiction? Yeah. What do they, number one, when you're working 15 hours a day, you don't have too much time to read. You're struggling to pay your bills, well, you don't have too much time to read. And what is it that we are Muslims? The most important thing to read is the Quran. Read, if you have time, read the Quran, read some hadith, make some zikr. Why we should be just following something that somebody says we should be doing. But when they have time, what do I see the people that they're doing? They love to interact. They love to talk to each other. They love to share. They have sohbat. They have companionship. They have muhabbat. And what does that do? You know, a child, when you're raising a child, the child doesn't socialize, doesn't know how to socialize until 10 years old, 20 years old. It's kind of weird, right? After that. Whenever the child knows how to socialize, like children, mostly, let's say, coming from a big family, they socialize, they know. They become more intelligent because they say, I'm not just living for me, I'm also living and understanding this one is like this one is like this one and this one is like this one is like this. So you become more intelligent. You're understanding people's mentality, their likes, their dislikes, you from a very young age. Now, they like doing that. Okay? And straight and sincere, not in a fake, nice sort of way, which, sad to say, there are a lot of Muslims who are like that. Very sweet, very nice, fake nice, come to me, ya habibi. You know, but after you go and then they just turn to be like this. Do you know what I mean? They are curious, they talk, they say straight. You know, they say, there's a different quality. We need to learn. We need to pick up. This is a holy order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We've created you into different nations so that you learn from each other. And you grew up like that. You grew up like that. And there is still very strong, it is still a very strong Muslim country. I went for what, maybe 3 Jumas there. There's so many masjids. Everywhere there's a masjid. There's a jami, everywhere. So many, right? Jummah time is all packed. But we still see 70% of the men, they're still outside, not attending Jummah. And I'm thinking, if all the jamis are packed, imagine, and it's only 30% going, imagine if 70% are going. Imagine if 90% of the men are going. Imagine if everyone goes. How strong that's going to be. So this jami also is needed, it's still being used. It's not turned into a museum. that means it is still very alive. And they don't need to make new ones, to demolish the old ones and make new ones, because these ones have been there for hundreds of years. Countless alims and ulamas and awliyas and imams and shaykhs and padishahs, and they're there, the blessing that. So you grow up like that. Because their idea of dunya is also very different. We are very special, yani, living in America. We don't understand how special we are. Our relationship with dunya. Because so many countries don't have that same kind of relationship. What are we being busy with? You turn on the television, this sale is happening, this new movie is coming out, this new food is coming out, this celebrity is busy with this politician is busy with this celebrity. You understand all these things? All these things, they don't concern the average people there. And if you say you must be concerned, they find it really stupid. Why should we be concerned? Over here, 50, 60, 70-year-old people, they still go to the movies to watch comic book superheroes, right? It's unthinkable over there. Yeah, of course, there are some people who go there, but generally, it's like unthinkable. I tell them, like, this is what they do. They laughed. They say, really? I said, yeah. You know, people who they have no life. Because there is no sohbat, there is no muhabbat. So, here I'm talking about, there's no sohbat, there's no muhabbat. From families to friends to communities, there's none of that. Fake kind of thing. So people then become very lonely, become very miserable. And the only time when they can really have some sort of contact, and don't look down on them too, is when they go to the mall and they talk to the checkout counter girl. They dress and they go, old people. That is very poor. You understand? Oh, that they're very hardworking. They work. So that one, I like him because he's at Ayub Sultan. I saw him the first time. He's a cleaner. I mean, what a blessed job it is. We're going there. We make friends with him. He was very happy. Imagine how many people going there not even looking at people like that. But we've been taught otherwise. Correct or no? We're not going to the jami to look at the imam or this or that. We're looking to see those ones that Allah and His Prophet and the awliya Allah they love, but the rest of society they look down on them. We're looking for those ones. Because those are the first ones that the Prophet came to. Those are the ones who supported the Prophet ﷺ. So there is a maturity. When I mean that, when they don't read, what I mean also by that is they don't try to be like other people. You understand? To read a story and then pretend you're that person. You pretend that you have those feelings. You pretend that you have those understandings. They don't. They just become themselves. They don't try to look at fiction, okay, and try to make their lives to be like that. So there's a lot of, when we have that, then it's still strong. And that kind of adab is just considered normal. When you get into Islamic adab, it's completely different. When you get to tariqat adab, you cannot even come close. When you look at tariqat adab, then you say these people must really be Ahli Jannat already. Of course, there are so many things that are working against it now, trying to, but they're trying. Well, you still see it's still there. A lot of effort on the part of people who have the authority and the power to keep all these things also. Allah make it easy for them, inshallah. So that's it. For over 500 years, they are colored by the color of tasawwuf. They are colored by the color of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and his manners, and they still keep that. It's the only empire in the world that is an empire of tasawwuf. So people hold manners to be more important and still keeping it. Allah forgive me and bless you, inshallah. Al-Fatiha. I mean, driving over there is crazy. In Istanbul, it's crazy driving over there. But I'm remembering also, I'm only saying it's crazy because I've lived here for over 20 years. Where we come from also, you just step out, okay, maybe. But you just go, for example, Singapore or Malaysia or Indonesia. It's crazy like that also, but we forgot about it because we think this is the only way of doing things. You understand? And you see that it's crazy, but you would think the way that they drive, there will be an accident every second. Anything can happen. Roads are small like this, the car is like this, and there are two cars on either side, and they go through. And you see, sometimes they go through, they're just touching like this. You can see miracles happening because this should not happen like that. Logically, it should not happen like that. Correct or no? And yet, you see this, and people are not screaming at each other. They're not screaming at each other. They're not angry. You're going like this, another car coming. Okay, and they find a way to go. Another car coming here. If it's in America, everyone will be going outside and shooting themselves and other people already. You understand now where is the manners of the people? The spirit now. It's not also according to how you are like this. It's according to how you can adapt. What good is a law if you cannot adapt it? Allah, so many things, watching nighttime, daytime, something like that, but everyone they're protected, you see. I'm not saying there's no accidents. Of course there's accidents but the way they're driving, you'd think that there would be every second, but there isn't. And people let go of things more easy. Let go. That's what we've seen. Maybe Allah is going to make us to see other things and to. We've been to. We didn't just stick to one town, one city. We've been to so many cities. And they are very curious about an outsider. This is the thing. They're curious. Where are you from? No, this. They don't look like this. And they stay away. Like so many Muslims are doing that. Should learn. Anyway, wa min Allahu tawfiq. Al-Fatiha. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, anything else anyone wants to say? This much is enough. Close the curtains. When you see a people being kind to animals,